everybody, and welcome to today's video. Okay, before we start, I just want to say thank you. Loads of you have been filling in my little survey and giving feedback as to how you're finding this YouTube channel. And I've got lots and lots of positive comments, which is really encouraging, guys, so thank you. As well as that, I've had a few people suggesting ways that we can improve it. Some of our younger viewers are a little bit concerned that it's not always easy to find questions relevant to you. And so what I've done, you'll notice on the main page within YouTube, I now have 3 playlists. I have GCSE Higher, GCSE Foundation, and Key Stage 3. As I upload the videos, what I'm doing is I'm filtering them and I'm adding them to each playlist so that you can go straight to it and you know exactly what it is that you're, that's relevant to you and where you're at in your studies. Okay, so thank you for that feedback, and I hope that you find that as a useful way of being able to hone in on the skills that you need. Right in, guys, today we're going to have a look at a simultaneous equations question. When I was at school, I was always frightened of simultaneous equations, and I've got to be honest, I don't think I ever knew the method that I'm going to show you now. So maybe that was why. Right, in order to solve this question, I'm going to look. Can you see there how I've got 2x and I've got 3x? Well, if I multiply the top by 3, I get 6x. And if I multiply the bottom by 2, I also get 6x. So I'm going to do that to both equations, okay? Because what I want the same number of x's in both equations. And for those of you that are learning this for the first time, you'll see why shortly. So the top equation then, 2x times 3 is 6x. Take away 4y times 3 is 12y. And that equals 19 times 3, 57. Then the second equation, 3x times 2 is 6x, plus 5y times 2 is 10y, and that equals 1 times 2, which is 2. Okay? Now that I've got these together, I can start to eliminate the x's and make my equation easier to solve. So what I'm going to do, you'll notice I've got 6x in the top one and 6x in the bottom one. So I'm going to subtract everything in the bottom equation from the top one. So let's have a look. 6x take away 6x is 0, so that's gone. Negative 12y take away positive 12y is negative 22y. And that equals 57 take away 2, which is 55. I can then rearrange that to make it that y equals negative 55 over 22. I can simplify that by dividing both top and bottom, both denominator and numerator, by 11, which gives me negative 5 over 2. And then to make this into a decimal, which will be easier, I'm then going to call it negative 2.5. Now, stop at this point. I've seen many people drop their pencil, and so I've got to bend down and get it. I'm back. Hello. I've seen many people stop at this point thinking they've done everything they need to. Not the case, okay? In order to solve this, you need to find the value of both letters, okay? So I've got my y value here, which is absolutely valid and is fantastic. What I'm going to do is I'm going to substitute it back into one of my equations. Now, just for no reason, I'm going to choose the top one, okay? So I've got 2x take away 4 times negative 2.5. Put those in brackets so they're out of the way. And that equals 19. 4 lots of negative 2.5 is negative 10. So it's 2x take away negative 10 equals 19. If I subtract a negative, then my values are going to increase. Or in other words, I'm going to add them. So what I'm actually doing is I'm doing 2x plus 10 equals 19. And if that's the case, by rearranging, I get that 2x equals 9 and x equals 4.5. So there's my value of x. Now, if you're feeling really confident, you could move on from that. But I would always recommend that you substitute these values back into one of the equations. Now, you'll notice in this one, I use the top equation, So to test it, I'm going to substitute into the bottom equation, okay? So I'm going to say that 3 lots of x, which is 4.5, so 3 times 4.5 plus 5 lots of y, which is negative 2.5, and that equals 1. 3 lots of 4.5 is 13.5, and 5 lots of negative 2.5 is negative 12.5, and that equals 1. A positive, adding a negative is the same as subtracting. So what I'm saying is that it's 13.5, take away 12.5 equals 1. And in fact, it does. So I've checked it, I've confirmed it, and I know that I'm right. Okay? So that's the foolproof way of making sure that you, any simultaneous equations question you can solve, and that you can check it, okay? And once you've checked it, you know you've got those marks and you can move on. Okay? Right then, I hope you found that useful. As always, if you have found it useful, leave a comment. If you found it dreadful, leave a comment as well. I want to know. Some of the people at school, some of the children at school keep asking me, how many subscribers have you got, sir? How many have you got? Couldn't care less about subscribers. I just want you to find these useful, okay? So if they're not useful, I need to know about it, all right? But hopefully you are finding them useful and you're finding them a good way of learning and consolidating some skills. So listen, guys, thank you again, and I will see you all soon, all right? Bye for now.